Welcome to the Great British Pinball Podcast, and here are your hosts Scott Rundell and Neil McRae.
Well, look who's here. It's Mr. Trouble himself. And you know what? You know what frustrates me is the number of letters that we got demanding that Scott came back.
Letters,
emails, fax.
blue Peter badges.
Arv sent us a fax. And someone did smoke signals over in Newcastle, and but they all said, "Scott, come back! We can't stand Neil waffling on like a balloon all by himself."
I did have a few people message me directly about that, but yeah.
So Scott, I'm gonna dive in where no man has gone before. Tell us about the mystical birth experience, and and we can all, if you're on YouTube, you can see that Scott actually is almost as bald as me now. And
to be fair, right, there is some logic behind it. It was like getting to a point where I was like, I'm getting really tired and my hair was a mess all the time. So I just said to Holly, shave the lot off. Just shave it off. I cannot be bothered. Yeah, it was literally like a buzz cut. I was just like, just shave it off. Because long story short, we were in the hospital for 11 days. And that was a long time. Like it was... I couldn't get a shower for a couple of days. It did some real damage to my scalp because I have I suffer from a form of eczema. And without medication, it was starting to bleed. And I was just like, this is fun. So yeah, basically, long story short, I just ended up shaving the head because it's easier. But that with the pregnancy, it wasn't ideal. We hit 30 hours of labor, went through 3 different types of what do I want to call it? Labor, 3 types of birth, I suppose. Tried natural for at the 29th hour for a good hour. Didn't work. The baby's head just kept, let's just say, recessing itself after each push. And then by that point, they said, all right, we're going to go into theatre and we're going to do forceps. That didn't work. His head was too big. So they said, we're going to do emergency C-section. I was like, great. Yeah. So they then put up the puppet theatre, and then I had to just make sure I just focused on Holly's head because I cannot stand blood. But yeah, like long story short, he was fine. Like we had some issues in like post birth, like that's why I had to stay in the ward. They wouldn't let us leave. There was complications around him having infections because the labour went on too long. Yeah. There was complications.
Same thing happened to my grandson. It was the birth. So Amelia was really simple birth.
Right.
They say the second one's easier than the first. For Jade, that wasn't the case. And she got kept in for a little bit, but not as long as you.
Yeah.
11 minutes in a hospital was long enough for me, let alone.
Oh, man, like, especially when we were in a shared ward, because originally we had what do they want to call it, a private room, but the rooms were so maxed out by the time we got back out, they were like, no, you can't have a private room. So then we ended up going into the shared ward, and I think the difficulty with a shared ward is that whilst the people, they can't help what's going on in their world, right? You can't tell a baby, well, these ones are sleeping now, so you need to sleep. It's like, no, that one's settled down, now the other one's crying, and then that one's settled down, and the other one's crying. And it was just, I'd never felt what a lack of sleep was until I went through that 11-day slog. Like that was, I mean, at one point, I think the baby was crying, and I was so out, I couldn't even hear him. Like my body was just like, no, you have shut down now. You've passed 40 hours being awake. You just need to sleep. I think it kind of put me off having any other kids, if I'm honest. I just feel like it could have gone better the way things were. I'm glad that we're all through it now, and that, Max is his name. Max is basically healthy and he's happy, and
exactly, that's the main thing. And Holly is as well. So look, and Holly is, congratulations, and it gets easier in some ways, harder than other. But at least the more you go on, the more sleep you get. Which
I mean, like, you've said it to me before, right? We spoke about this offline, but I'm okay at the moment. I'm tired, and even here I can see it. I keep scratching. My bloody eczema's flaring up again. I get like tired, and work have been surprisingly good. Like I must admit, they've been really supportive. Like
that's a backhand comment if ever I saw one, mate. Hopefully you're watching this.
I think to be fair, I wasn't expecting
bastards at work have been surprisingly fucking supportive.
That is not how I meant it at all. But no, they've been really like it. It's thrown me back, like just how. Like, I tell you what really is threw me off a little bit was genuinely how many people sent me gifts and presents, and it made me realize how many friends I'd built around pinball, because even the people from the pinball world, as I would call it. Yeah. They sent me gifts. They sent me stuff for Max and stuff. Awesome. And I was getting all these like random gifts through the door, and I was like,
I feel bad. I didn't send you fucking anything.
Yeah, Neil, where's my present? No, but honestly, it was genuinely nice just realizing what support structure we had. Because I know that came across as like with work, but I genuinely meant it. Like it has felt. That's been really refreshing to see just how well supported you are when you go through these life-changing events, really.
Yeah, I mean, so it is these sort of events they make your brain rethink or reevaluate, where your life is, for sure.
Yeah.
And I had a friend of mine, a guy called Fergus, who I've known, I want to say, I've known him since 1990, right?
Right.
And I found out end of last week, he died.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
No, it's kind of the other end of, but it's one of those things that people come together on, right?
Yeah.
We're all pretty shocked about it. Although he'd been struggling with his health for a while, which I kind of knew. But you go, these are the sort of things that you step back from it and you think, holy shit, marriage, birth, having kids, it's that cycle of life, and it's I'm at an age, so I'm a bit older than you. I'm at an age where it's it's grandkids, and it's my mum having a stroke, and life's just a weird thing. How you're at the new beginnings part, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
It's just bizarre. I always, this will sound weird, but when I start to think about these things, I used to always think about my cat, and I was like, where was God when He thought, let's have cats? You know what I mean? It's kind of.
Do you know what we were nuts for as well? Just prior to Holly's birth, our old cat we had for 18 years passed away.
Yeah.
And then we had the bright idea to go, let's get another one. And
on top of the 54 that you've already got.
Well, yeah, on top of those two others. But it was like we were lucky that cat acclimated so quickly, because we weren't there. At one point we got her 2 weeks prior to Holly giving birth, and then we were away effectively for 2 weeks in hospital. So we were really worried that the cat wouldn't be receptive to us. But we call her Nurse Navi, which is quite funny because we've called her Navi, but she ends up she watches the baby. It's so weird. She sits around it and makes sure whenever it's crying, she'd be like, oh, you've got to go look after it. It's so weird.
There's a great YouTube video, I must dig it out, where there's folks who've had new kids, and you get the cats almost protective of
they treat it like one of their own.
Baby.
Yeah.
But also there's one where in that same video where there are cats that have had kittens, where they try and kind of have the kittens and baby together. It's kind of cute. But look, happy that everything went well eventually. I mean, I was getting messages from you, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't really giving you great news, was it? At one point, I was like, I tell you what, I was losing my mind at one point, because you just sat in the ward in the same four walls, and it's just nothing but that babies crying, and I was just like, is this my life now? Like,
Yeah,
I think I was having a crisis at one point, but eventually it was. I think it just got stressful because it was stressful.
You and everyone else has been through this, you know. So look, good news, and now I feel great shame that I haven't sent you anything. I could have even.
To be fair, Neil, you've done even like loads of stuff for us in the past, right? You've taken us out for meals and stuff, so I don't really.
No worries, mate. No worries.
I don't see that as something that you had to obligate yourself for.
It just made me. I'll be honest, I'm one of those people that just doesn't even think about shit like that.
Mate, I don't either, but it has changed my perception on things. I'm thinking, damn, if someone says they've got something like that going on, I best try and do something about it. Moving forward.
When I changed jobs a couple of years ago, and I posted that I'd moved, and like, I don't know, about 1,000 people on LinkedIn wished me well, and I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
You know, it's little things like that kind of, you know, as you get older, you start to appreciate. But I don't know if you're familiar with Myers-Briggs, but on the Myers-Briggs, it's a kind of psychometric test. It's not perfect by any means, but it kind of helps you with blind spots. And I've taken the test maybe three times, maybe two. But it's got this thing called F, which is feeling. And on the feeling scale, I'm 1 out of 20.
Wow.
So it translates. So I'll quickly do this quick story because it's kind of funny. We one of the companies I work for, we're doing a kind of team building kind of leadership training thing, as you do, and we had to give each other feedback, which no one likes to do, right? Everyone hates doing it. So a guy I work with, John, awesome guy. Wish he retired. I wish he was still around because he was such a good guy. But he says he says, well, he says to me, hey Neil, when I'm talking to everybody, I have in my head enter human, exit human, right? Okay. So I'll come up and speak to you. I'll say hello. How are the kids? Blah blah blah. You know, talk about car. You know, whatever. And then he gets to what he wants work wise, and then I respond to it. And then Neil, you respond to it. And then I say, well, I hope your kid's all right. Or blah, blah, blah. You know, he does this. You know, human bit. And he said to me, Neil, you know, when I'm talking to you, it feels like you're kind of frustrated. And I was like, John, 100% I'm frustrated, mate. Because every time I speak to you, I've got 20 minutes of you waffling on about shit I don't really care about. Then you get to the point, and then you bore me for another 10 minutes with other stuff that I don't care about, and then you go on your way. Other than that, I love you, mate. He's like a guy I work with. We did a lot of great stuff together, and he's a great guy. And I learned a lot from him on the F side. But there's people watching this that are suddenly going, "Fucking hell! I finally get McRae." No, you don't. But anyway, look, glad that everything's okay. And I hope the lack of sleep gets better. If anything, what this will teach you is how to be a professional sleeper, how to grab that 20 minutes.
That's what you really capitalize on is the sleeps. Like you just go, like it's funny when it gets to the end of the work, I'm just like, I can go sleep. And then I realize I've got to cook. I mean, the one thing is like, you know, I did like house chores already, but I've had to do obviously all of it now. But what I try and do now is I power through it. I go like, right, gotta get the cats fed, vacuum, do the laundry, and then I can go get an hour's sleep. Yes, that's what I'm really looking forward to. In the old days, it'd be like I can play games. Now it's more like I can sleep.
Yes, I don't have any good news for you on that front. Basically, anyway, let's move on to all things pinball.
Sure.
So the last time, I mean, I were saying this just before we started. The last time we did this, it was pre-Pinfest.
I know. I can't believe it's been that long, but yeah,
it's nuts. I mean, I just so the audience knows, I did kind of give Scott an end of paternity break time.
He did. He was gracious. That was his gift.
I was like, paternity's over. The podcast, we do a podcast next week. And actually, for those of you not from Europe, we have this thing called paternity break where you actually get paid to take time off.
Yeah, it's good.
This is something that was fought by men who were mad. Because before we never used to have this. So you go back to work and get peace from the madness of a newborn.
Yeah, one of my colleagues at work was telling me, like, back when he was, this is like 20 years ago. So back when he was a dad for the first time, what he used to do is he'd go out at lunch in the middle of London, sit on a park bench and sleep for 40 minutes because that was the only time he could sleep.
Yep.
Insane. I don't know how people would have coped back then.
There are people watching this, Scott, nodding.
I bet. I don't know how you do it, honestly. I think paternity leave should be at least a month. I mean, I took 2 weeks off as what they provide you, plus I booked 2 weeks annual leave. So I originally booked 1 week's annual leave, but because we were in what I call our internment for 11 days, I asked for another week and they give it.
That extra time in the hospital really, derails a lot of things that you need to get organized with. So
yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It felt like it reset us a bit because we felt like we just lost time, if you know what I mean. It didn't feel like we could really deal with Max. It felt like we were living in some sort of limbo. But obviously after that it was fine. So
yeah, so Pinfest, my summary was it was great. Shame about the dogs and the tournaments. But overall not too bad.
I think for Pinfest, for me, right, I liked it. I think it was a genuine improvement on what they'd done over the previous years. I like the fact that the tournament was segregated and moved downstairs. I mean, for me, that's just how it should be. Like, there should be a separate section for the tournament players, the serious players, and a casual section for the normal players, just how everyone else does it. So I don't see why it wouldn't work here.
I think everyone, there was a lot of people worried about. I think there's one or two people that aren't happy because it feels like they're locked in a dungeon downstairs, which I kind of get.
It's not bad though. It looked genuinely quite nice.
Nah, it's okay, but if you want to see people, it's not natural for the non-tournament folks to come down. I know I spoke to a couple of people. I mean, the simple fact is tough luck because that's how it had to be. But I mean, the layout definitely worked for sure.
And I think it was nice to see, like, obviously I appreciated you taking Evil Dead. That was, although I hate you for it because now it's like I really would want it. I think a lot of people felt that way. You really like it. This what proves a point to me, and I was talking to you about this offline before, like having titles that you can't normally access or play. That's what the event should be about for me.
Yeah, 100%.
And having that game there at the show, it really showed its true, like, you can play a game, watch a game, on like stream, or you can listen to your favorite like pinball enthusiast talking about the game. It's not the same as just physically being in front of it and experiencing it for yourself. And I think once I played it, I was like, yeah, it lives up to the hype.
Yeah. I mean,
Excuse me.
I think a lot of people were impressed by it. For sure. I think, I mean, that's 2 years in a row. Pulp Fiction was the game previous year.
Sure.
And both games were rammed. June was pretty busy as well, obviously.
And it was packed. Like, I mean, we had people running to it when the doors opened. That was, and it's done well. I mean, like, even David said he secured some sales from the event. So it goes to show that it's worth doing it. I get the fact there's some realities that we can't do a big event like the Americans can, but I'd like to see more titles like that.
Yeah, look, I mean, if I got a TPF and Spooky's rumored title is any good, I have to say the next title, which is it's just going to Beetlejuice. Sorry, of course. I have to say Beetlejuice does zero for me, Brad, but kind of theme wise. It's not a theme I'm into. My wife loves it, but I never. For me, it was just silly.
The sequel's terrible. If you've watched it, but like,
what would you expect?
Yeah, well, the first film though was all right, but just I don't know. It's not something that was on my bucket list to say, "Oh, I need a game that's based on this
crazy
theme."
about it. I actually, I'm going to tell you, I probably only watched half the movie and thought this is shit, and turned it off. So, which has probably got people writing letters of complaint.
Is it Tim Burton that directs that one?
Oh, no idea, mate. All I know
I
is
can't remember.
Michael Keaton was in it, and I normally like Michael Keaton.
Yeah,
I think he's a great actor, but no, it didn't do very much for me. But it seems to have a lot of noise. Actually, one of the things. So Pinball Expo's coming up, and a bunch of us are going up to Spooky's factory on next week sometime. I think Tuesday or Wednesday. I can't remember, but we're driving to Benton, Wisconsin.
Do you think they'll ever do another run of Evil Dead?
Oh, so if they do, I think they piss off a lot of customers.
Yeah, that's the worry, right?
It's the sort of bozo move that Stern have done with LE.
I.e. Jaws 50th, Godzilla 70th.
Jaws 50th pissed me off no end.
To the point where you still bought another Stern LE, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let me explain. Let me come back to that because
we'll come back to
that. I think there are mitigating circumstances for that one, right? But
okay.
Nonetheless, I think so. Luke, here's I was posting this earlier on Pinside, was debating something as you do on Pinside, but Evil Dead is Spooky's best game by like 1,000,000%, right? There's nothing.
Oh, absolutely.
Nothing close to it. Nothing, and not just in game and art and sound and everything, but also
I'm fairly confident it might be the only game in Spooky's lineup that holds its value.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, right now you can sell it for more. In fact, I've had 2 people offer me.
Yeah, it made me laugh on the forum. I think people were expecting to take 3-4 grand off of it. Oh, good luck. Yeah, you'll be going 3-4 grand in the other direction, mate, because that's what they'll go for.
100%, and it's happening. You see it in the US, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, the thing that I think may have woken Spooky up a little bit was this game should have sold out on day one.
Yeah, weird, right?
And it took, so they launched it on November 22nd last year.
Yeah.
And they hadn't sold out until the end of March. And I picked mine up in Texas in March. The one that I've got is in the club right now.
Sure.
And shipped it back. And that's because of previous reliability and, let's say, build quality challenges, I believe. And they've absolutely nailed them on this game. Now, is everything perfect on it? No, I've had 2 issues with the game. One, the main board blew a transistor, which I think I don't think the code is as robust as it should be in detecting things that are stuck or not working right.
Oh, right. So it keeps firing a coil or something to that effect.
So someone gets and actually Pulp Fiction had a similar issue. I'm not sure that's what happened, but to me, it would make sense. And then the second thing is the shotgun shell thing. It's not well protected. It's a couple of points, and it's just plastic. So you have this ball, getting whacked at it. It actually cracked the case, which makes the whole mech fall apart. Actually, and when did I discover it? The week before UK Open. And this game was in the UK Open. And actually, a big shout out to Spooky. They shipped me a replacement part within 2 days.
Wow.
To the UK. So
any improvements to it? Like any revision to the sturdiness?
Actually, no, but in the email, Spooky said that it comes with a new protector because of this issue. And I was like, okay, cool.
Okay.
But it wasn't there. So I don't know I don't know what happened, but anyway, we're going to see now if they've got this protector. I'm going to grab a couple, but this is a good news for the UK games that are coming hopefully next month.
Surprised they don't just make the casing out of TPU or something. You know, make it into like a flexible mold so that it can take a hit, a bit like the theater trunk.
Yeah, no,
and by that I mean the aftermarket theater trunk.
I'm thinking probably just a couple of tight rubbers around the thing would be enough.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact is, the fact that they've redesigned there is a protector there. It just doesn't go as far as it should.
Right.
They've redesigned that, which makes me think I'm not the first to have this problem. I mean, my game's had a lot of play though. It's at TPF for a whole weekend. It was at Pinfest for a whole weekend. It's been in a club. I was at UK Open, so it's had a lot of play, and it's been. I mean, apart from that crack and the board going, it's been bulletproof.
So this is an interesting thing you brought up about that, the fact it got hammered and there's not been a problem with like the playfield or anything. Because I looked at like Fran's Labyrinth that she had, which I think might have been mine. I'm not sure, but I noticed when she had it. It was like there's chipping on the playfield. I was like, God, that didn't happen when I had it. Yeah. And I spoke to David. He said, oh yeah, it happened after she'd been playing it for like 50 or 100 plays, and then it started chipping. I was like, what the hell? Like that is the game's only had like 300 plays or something on it, and it's got chipping on the playfield. It's like
what is the chips?
They are over like the Wise Man area. I think there's one there, which is where the basically the drop target is. And then there's another one by the left fuck, I want to call it. Like I call it the mystery shot, but whatever you want to call that, left fuck on the left side. So I have seen that issue before come up where it seems to be as the ball comes out, it's really digging into the wood and then it's causing it to chip. I just feel like, okay, it's their first game and I get it that there's going to be problems, but I would have thought the first thing you would do is put Cliffies there or something like that, and I'd factory fit those.
There should always be Cliffies.
Yeah,
I mean, I just when I see games without that, I'm thinking, what the fuck are they thinking?
Yeah.
They're $2 part.
Yeah, exactly.
And a playfield, even if you get the playfield, which is $1,000, it's another 2,000 to have it swapped if you're ever going to do that, which most people don't, right?
No, it's just so much effort, man. Yeah,
to me,
exactly.
That's mental. I mean, and actually, I'll have a dig at Stern because everyone thinks I'm like Mr. Stern and I can't possibly say anything evil against them. So D&D, there's two areas of that playfield where there should have been Cliffies. They didn't put them on. In fact, they didn't even Mylar it properly. There's one bit where they put this scoop thing on. They should have put it higher, and I think in the build process it got missed. Because in the manual it's in a different place, and basically what happens is the ball bounces off of it into the playfield. Luckily, I Mylared up my LE, and it's fine.
It's kind of weird though, isn't it? Things like as you say, Cliffies, Mylar. These are things that have been around for donkey's years, and they cost nothing. Yeah,
they don't cost any money. And they will avoid massive dissatisfaction and potentially cost, because if something if you screw it up, you got the chance where you might have to replace playfields.
Because nothing devalues a game for me more than a chipped playfield.
A chipped playfield will put me off buying a game 100%. I just won't touch it.
Yeah.
If it's round the VUK, maybe.
Yeah, if it's like to the edge of the VUK area where you can cover it with a Cliffy, sure. But most of the time, the damage will proceed past where the Cliffy would be covering anyway, because it's taking a chunk out, so to speak.
But the kind of frustration I've got around that is, it's just unnecessary. I mean, the other issue is sorry, I don't know what the fuck's going on with my camera.
It's focusing in because it's getting intense for you.
Yeah, I've just turned the AI off on it. So yeah, I mean, look, I've got this thing called a tall AI camera. It's actually quite cool because it follows me around, but it just randomly zooms in and out, which is irritating as hell. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, just for God's sake, manufacturers, Cliffy up or Mylar up or both. Yeah. It's peanuts in the big scheme of things.
How's Harry Potter been holding out? Have you heard anything on that? I haven't.
Honestly, I haven't heard much. I mean, I am. So I was in the US for Papa 22, which or was it 23? Papa 22, I think. Yeah, 20. Yeah, Papa 22 was one of the major events. A really good gig. Andy and the team ran an amazing event. They had a Harry Potter there. It was I think it was the arcade edition. Yeah, it was. And the arcade edition has got the same black kind of armor that Stern Pro's got, so it feels very, very Stern Pro. The artwork on the side of it was the movie artwork. Actually looked pretty good, although, well, I say pretty good. It looked like Harry Potter, right?
Right.
I couldn't see much. I was looking for was there any damage around the game? Couldn't really see any, but the game. This is what I'm so glad that I don't have to rely upon location pinball. The glass of this game was like something out of a McDonald's Happy Meal area. It was
smeary
and filthy. It was awful. And actually, it made me think I need to find like a travel size glass cleaner.
So you can go around cleaning for them.
Mop my own. I mean, it was awful, man. If I ran an arcade, I'd have someone going around cleaning the pinball arcade. I'd have someone going around cleaning the glass. I mean,
who's the guy that was going around Pinfest and cleaning all the glass?
Oh, I know what you mean. His name's got in my head. Is it Richard?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember, but yeah, he was doing my game, and
yeah, he was taking pride in it. Good on him, though.
He was a bit obsessive.
He likes no fingerprints. I'm with him on that, though.
Is it Dickie? I can't remember. I'm gonna get kneed in the balls for forgetting.
Probably.
His name. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, look, I played it. I must stick $100 in it because I really wanted to get a good. I played it at Phil's a few times, but it was hard to really.
You're not tempted to get one then? It doesn't do anything for you?
Nah, I'm not. It kind of reinforced that. Look, I think the game shoots nice. The playfield layout, I think, is okay. There's a couple of things that I'll be like, but they're not. You wouldn't lose any sleep out of them. But the code for me is just awful. It's just really bad. I don't know. It feels like, it feels like literally. So if I compare it to Jaws, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is a great comparison. Jaws literally feels like you're in the movie. I mean, it's the whole play is attached. The design of the game and the rules and the play is attached to the theme so well. Probably the best ever, I would say.
Okay.
And and right now Jaws is selling like hotcakes. Harry Potter, and it probably helps that I'm more of a Jaws fan than a Harry Potter fan. So yes, I'm biased. But my take on Harry Potter is it's literally like there was like a whitewood pinball machine with no theme on it, and along comes a wizard and just dumps the Harry Potter paint on it. It doesn't, the playfield and the gameplay and the theme and the call outs, just they don't seem connected to me. In fact, the call outs is one of my biggest area of criticism. Not the voice, Mark. Don't worry, not the voice.
Don't worry, Mark.
You sound awesome, mate. You sound awesome. But the voice, unfortunately, has been given a set of PowerPoint slides to bore everyone to death with. So
yeah, it needs some energy, doesn't it? That's the thing.
Well, no, there's energy there, but Mark, not Mark, sorry. I forget his surname, but basically the guy doing the call-outs is Mark.
Mark Silk.
Mark Silk, that's it. Really nice guy. I love him, but literally he's trying to read like the Bible, and it's non-stop. It's like, just tell me where the hell to shoot, but it just feels like it's.
I don't know. For me, right, it feels more like there's two ways to do it, and I think even Mark's cool. Like I've spoke to Mark before, and he said like there's different ways of delivering call outs, and he's like going, you need to do world building when you do a call out to say, hey, he's getting up the right ramp, you need to shoot that, or he's escaping, he's up the right ramp, would be better than shoot the right ramp. And yet, weirdly, I think Harry Potter is shoot the right ramp. It is very much feels like an instructional video. At least the way I heard it, at least.
To me, it feels like I'm being told how to build IKEA furniture.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. Instructional video.
No, but not by IKEA, but by Charles Dickens.
Right.
It's just. I don't know. It just doesn't. And actually, to be fair, that was about a month ago. I played it. As I understand it, there's a core update where some of these things are fixed, or not fixed, but they've done some things to change it. So hopefully it's better. I'll play it. It'll be at Pinball Expo, so I got a chance to play again. But
yeah,
I think if I was a Harry Potter fan, would I be happy with the game? Probably.
Oh yeah, look, I mean, I still think that staircase mech is incredible.
Yeah, although that it does get a bit confused. I've seen it a couple of times where it got confused, but I think and look, I mean, I made a joke on there's a really cool group on Facebook called Pinball Memes.
Oh yeah, I've been on that. Yeah,
and I made a joke where I basically the meme I posted is it's 2060. And Harry Potter is still on the line at JGP. I mean, I think they're going to be making that game for 100 years.
But they probably have to make their money back.
Yeah, and
an expensive
also
license, right?
Demand. So yeah, it's if Harry Potter was there, would I go and have a game of it? Yeah, as opposed to, and then actually I played Avatar again. Oh my god! I honestly.
I just don't see that game ever being popular, but there we go.
Mate, so forget the lower Playfields, what the absolute fuck were they thinking? I mean, honestly, they are awful, right?
Lower Playfields, though, to be fair, rarely work out for me.
Yeah, I agree. But even in this scenario, they're like the gold medal winners of not working out, right? and if you filled them over, right? Imagine you took them over and you filled them over. Which, if I was JGP, I would send out parts to allow people to do this, and just remove that madness.
Or remove the mech. Wow.
Yeah, just remove it, right? Because if you do that, I actually think the rest of the playfield's actually pretty good. It's just that bit just doesn't add up. But then, no, man. Then again, they've hired some ninja from MIT maths department to write the codes, and they've also hired someone from the University of Oxford's linguistics department to create this own bizarre language that no one fucking understands a word of it.
Right.
And they've made even just starting a mode. It's easier to do.
I remember seeing that bloody giant flowchart that they threw out for the rule set, and they're like, "Look how complex our game is." I'm like, "You've just developed a game where 9/10 of the player base will never touch it."
Yeah, and I am. So I wanted to, look, the thing, a lot of people put a lot of hard work into this, and they don't wake up and say we're going to make a shit game today, right?
No, of course not. But they think complexity equals, like, I don't know, ingenuity. It's like, it's not. It's like, I think the beauty of pinball for me is that sometimes, like, keep it simple, KISS, right, is the best method or mantra that you can ever have. Like, I don't want to see a game where I walk up to it and everything is lit up and I don't know what to shoot.
Yeah, like, and that is Harry Potter and Avatar. I want to. So again, I spent $100 playing it in Interium, and I wanted to enjoy it, but honestly, that game. I mean, it looks beautiful, but the play on it is just with the code and those stupid mechs. The rest of it, Mark Ciro, who designed it, I actually think take away the lower.
Do you think they'd ever do like what they've done with like John Wick, or like with what's the other game they had to X-Men, where they might just say, you know what, we're going to just ground zero the code and start again?
Yeah, well, I wish that they would, because I think in both of those games there is a better game there if they did it.
Yeah,
and actually they kind of did this with Bond and Walking Dead to some extent.
I was going to say, let's face it, that was legendary. What happened with Walking Dead, because that game was terrible to start with.
It was awful, and Lyman just And I don't know if
So, do we have another lineman though? I don't think we do, right? Not now.
No, and I actually this something that someone said to me about linemen that made me feel actually a little bit bad. If you imagine, right? So the short answer to that question is no. There is not another lineman. But if you just imagine for a minute the pressure that linemen must have felt, because all over Pinside, it'd be like, starting to launch a new game, and all that anyone interested in who's on the code.
Yeah.
And the minute they say lineman, everyone's like, yes, it's going to be awesome.
Pressure then it's a bit like Keith Irwin though, right? He built himself a reputation for being the guy that could make things happen. Same way Keith Irwin's being preceded as he's the one that has the most success in a title, and he's got this kind of unstoppable kind of like freight train of success. And everyone's like, well, the next Lyman Sheets game is going to be good, so therefore the next Keith Irwin game is going to be good. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of pressure, I can imagine.
Yeah, I think we need to, and I can't help but feel, I don't know, but I think that's something we just need to moderate a little bit. I think it's fair to say that Keith and Lyman and others, they'll put their best in.
Of course.
And they might not always get it right. But it's not because they woke up and said we're going to do a bad job. But however, I do think the one thing and it's just my own experience of running teams. Great teams can basically call each other out and say, guys, we're listening to our own bullshit.
Sure.
And I can't help but think, in some games, and then some things I've built, some things I've done, and I've other friends that phone me up and want an opinion. You kind of think, why did no one say what the fuck were we thinking doing this? And from my perspective, I wonder, you kind of wonder what sort of environment you're in. Is that an environment where you can? I have this kind of two words that I use at work, which is, I call it a fair challenge, right?
Sure.
Or an acceptable challenge, where you can challenge something, but it's 40% what the challenge is, and 60% what you would consider doing to resolve it, right? Acceptable challenge. So you can make an acceptable challenge, right, and say, this is not great because of this, this, and this, and actually, here's what I think we should do to fix it, right? And, I've worked in teams where the remotest bit of challenge was like looked at as if you were from another planet. Don't fucking do that again. I'm sure you've worked in them.
Oh, yeah.
There's other teams. And I'd say, all the best teams were those. And then I've worked in teams where everybody hated each other. What everyone else did was shit, and you were always better, and everyone else got the attention. It wasn't me, blah, blah, blah. I've worked in both sets of those teams. But I've also worked in teams, and I've tried to run teams where you've got this acceptable challenge method, and you agree some norms around how you will work as a team. And in every scenario, that team's work best. And I can't help but think that Keith's success, and I know Keith a little bit, is definitely down to that fact that I think in his team, they can have a conversation about something. Like, the obvious one is the shark eating the ball, right?
Yeah.
Where everyone's saying, oh yeah, we're going to build it, They build it, and it would have been so easy to say, right, we've done that, put it in the game, boom. But what happened was it was shit.
In their view, at least. But
their view, yeah. And I've played Jaws with that mod on it. It's shit.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, it's stupid. Compared to what Jaws is now, you'd have to be totally fucking mentally crazy to go down that route. That's my take.
Okay.
But
I think, take it from a different
time they spent on that.
I think the biggest challenge, right, of anything in pinball, at least, I think, is trying to create something innovative. And it's mainly because there's only so many different ways you can design a playfield. That is, speaking from experiences, building my own, it's so hard. I just think sometimes it's like, there's such a limited bit of wood here to play with. and you want to do something, but you're like, well, that's not going to fit, or if I do this, that's going to sacrifice that shot and make it really tight. And I feel like, there's a balance between creating complexity and creating something that's fun to play.
Yep, 100%.
I just get the feeling like Keith does a good job of obviously creating unique shots and flow, and I feel like each time he does a game, he's trying to improve upon that. And I saw that in Kong. I mean, I played it. I'll be honest with you. I still think I didn't like it. There's some games for me that just it doesn't speak to me as a player. I think it's more for people that are like better players. Like he's always built, I think, games, if I'm honest with you, that have a layer of like, if you're good at playing pinball, you'll get the most out of this game. Like for me, because I consider myself a beginner to intermediate player, I look at it and I play it and I go, that bloody left drain is driving me up the effing wall. I cannot play this game. And it's like, I feel like he obviously has so many things to factor in. He has to factor in a game's difficulty from two perspectives: the casual player that's going to show up and put a quid in or a dollar or whatever it happens to be, and then the other person that has it at home and he's a professional player, and then another player that plays at home, the casual player. And just think, God, all those different kinds of like demographics of people and use cases, and then having to think about, I need to create something unique because everybody wants to see the next big thing, and it's a lot of pressure. I look at it's probably a good segue to talk about Star Wars, because for me, at least when I saw Star Wars, I was disappointed. I was like, it's a fan layout. It looks like, if I'm honest with you, just an iteration on the 10-year-old Star Wars that they did previously. And I was a bit like, I just wanted something more. I had expected something more, if I'm honest with you. Like, I get the fact, though, that there's so many challenges with the Star Wars IP. One is, I imagine they were mandated to say, this is how the Playfield artwork needs to look, and tough shit if you've got something that's more imaginative than that. This is how we need it in this style. I don't know. It's a hypothesis, because to me, at least, the artwork on that was a bit of a letdown. But more focusing back on the design element, because that was my point. It was like, I don't know if they were like looking at it from a point of view going, this game needs to be accessible, and then they were like, okay, this isn't. But then again, I've heard comments, the shots are really tight, so I don't know. Like, I do wonder sometimes, like, what their thinking is at the moment when they did that game. Like, what was their goal? Was their goal to make something accessible, or was their goal to make something that was challenging for the professional player? Because at the moment, it felt like it was more leaning towards the professional player rather than the casual. But when I listened to their interviews, they were talking about accessibility. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, so I would say I think you need way more time on a Kong. Kong is probably one of the hardest games to lose the ball of all time.
You think? Okay.
100%. And actually, so when I was at Papa 22, or is it 12? I need to make sure I'm calling out the right one. I think it's 22. It might be 23. Anyway, we were there. Yeah, it's Papa 22. I was right. So I was there, and there was a 3.5-hour game of Kong.
Jesus.
Yes.
What, on one person?
Practically one guy. So Z-Mac, he's a very top player, but he couldn't lose the ball.
Wow. And I imagine they widen the lanes and everything like that they normally do, right?
Well, I don't think they did. I won't go into the detail of why, but suffice to say that it's very difficult to lose the ball. And actually, for me, it caused a bit of panic because we had it in the UK Open Bank.
Yeah.
And there's no way I can have a game last 3 freaking hours. It just killed the tournament.
Yeah.
So I went about figuring out, okay, how do I make this hard for anyone to play? And it's quite difficult. You've got to put a lot of effort into it. So I took all the post numbers out, put all the post settings to hard. That helps a little bit. But in that game, there's so many return to flipper paths. It's the ball is designed to come back to flipper.
Yeah.
And if you miss a shot, because of the narrowness of that middle part of the playfield, you're kind of unless you're really unlucky, you're kind of coming towards the flippers, and the outlines are quite hard to get into. But the key thing, so and then basically what I did to make the game a bit harder was one, polish it up, make sure the slings are very sensitive, and then I put 3 big yellow posts in that made, if you got a reject shot, made it a bit more painful to deal with.
Right.
And then finally, I made the tilt pretty tight, so that basically, if you this game, if you miss a shot,
so you'd say it's a lot easier than, say, Jurassic Park or anything like that, then?
Mate, it is 100 times easier than Jurassic Park.
See, Jurassic Park, I didn't even find that frustrating, but I did. Maybe it was just because the setting we was in, right? It is difficult even when you're like on location to play a game.
Yeah.
Like when you play it in your own house, it's way different.
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, anyway, look, I think we're saying pretty much the same thing, which is quite hard to, these games are hard to design.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's jump to Star Wars, as we kind of mentioned it. So it's 10 to 6 on Friday the 10th of October. My Star Wars was supposed to be delivered today. It's annoyingly going to be delivered tomorrow, which is a pain because I'm not supposed to be here tomorrow. I'm supposed to be opening the club. So I've now got the pleasure of telling my wife she needs to wait for this to be delivered, which will go down like a lead balloon.
Oh, I bet.
Anyway, passing that disaster over. So I went to, I did a quick podcast on this on my own just to cover the game. I hear what you're saying about being unimpressed by Star Wars. When I first saw it, I wasn't super impressed by it. I was thinking, really? And except for the artwork, I think the artwork is outstanding.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I think ignoring the Playfield artwork, because I really don't like that, but the cabinet artwork and the back glass on the LE, that's nice.
But yeah, I actually think I like the Pro the best. With
is that the Return of the Jedi?
Back.
Okay, I thought the LE's got the Hoth barrel. No.
Yeah, LE's the snow one.
Yeah.
I think Premium's the Ewoks.
Oh, that's Return of the Jedi. Okay.
Pro is Empire Strikes Back, I think. I mean, to be honest, the art and all of them is pretty good. Spike 3 is awesome. The sound's awesome. I mean, the sound is a step up. I think everyone will be really surprised how much better that is. The bigger screen, people say, it doesn't look that much bigger. Mate, it's hugely bigger when you compare it to the old screen.
Right.
And the game, so look, it's a fan layout. It's a new fan layout. It's not one we've seen before. It's challenging layout. But it's quite accessible. Although the shots are, people say, it's fan layout, it's easy. The shots are quite tight in a couple of areas. Like the Death Star shot's pretty tight. The Jabba shot's pretty tight. Some of the stuff on the playfield, the heads and Jabba the Hutt that lights up.
The glowworm Jabba, yeah.
I mean, it's hard to argue that looks shit. I can't argue it, in fact.
I think the biggest disappointment for me was when they removed the Force feature from the Pro.
Yeah.
So it's got the ball on the playfield where Yoda's going to grab it, which again was an odd artistic choice, but whatever. But because the Pro doesn't have it, that's just not doing anything. It's like, use the Force, Luke. I can't. I'm on the Pro. It just feels weird. Like,
I agree. I'll be honest with you. Like, you know me, I kind of write off the Pro as something that doesn't exist. So
but maybe that should be like Stern's wake up call to just finally ditch the free tier.
They're never going to do that. They're never going to do that. Nah. The problem is it's all about price points, and they need a low end game and a high end game.
Yeah.
I liked Spike 3. I think like feeling good. The game, and I haven't played it in a month now. And is that a month? Yeah, it's over a month. Ray Day's on the code, and from what I can see where the code's going, it's very good. Now, the big question is will it even work here in the UK?
Wow, that goes back to how you've been a naughty boy and bought it, despite Stern's best efforts to say this is not available. Let's face it, Neil finds a way. He's done a Han Solo smuggling routine. So
yeah, I mean, I suspect there might be people in Stern that think that's amusing. So what the plan is I'm gonna get it working somehow. I will get it working.
I'm actually genuinely surprised that I mean they can't reach out to you because it would be bad form. They're not allowed to do it, right? But I'm genuinely surprised someone hasn't gone to you. Don't worry about it. Just flick this on it and it will work in your country. I'm not saying they would, but it would be quite funny if they did.
Yeah, I would be amazed if they did that, because everyone would say, well, how did he get it to work? And I'd have to come clean on it, right? Anyway, my take is well, we'll get it working however we do that. And
would it block you? Would it just lock down if it realized it was in the wrong country?
Well, so I had this problem before. I imported the original X-Men pin during COVID.
Oh, the original one, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it was a SAM game. You plugged it in and basically it would turn on and all the light show would start, and then basically as you thought the game was about to come to life, it displays this message saying you cannot play this game in your region.
Okay.
I'm expecting it to do the same thing.
I still find that such a weird concept that in this day and age we've got region locking.
But it's kind of indicative of,
because Spooky don't region lock, JJP don't region lock.
Yeah, but it's indicative of a market where historically in the US market, they fuck the consumer, we're doing whatever we want.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Whereas in today's world, you can't get away with that, even in the US. But they've kind of got a legacy of this, and also the simple fact that there's difference. There's here in the UK rips us all off, basically.
Wow. Yeah.
And let me tell you, I am considering posting the maths on how much it cost me to get this game in.
No doubt it's cheaper than buying it is in the UK.
Substantially cheaper.
Yeah, I figured it would be.
Substantially cheaper. And everyone will say, oh, Neil, that's because you're not paying the VAT. I have declared this at its full value.
Yep.
Right?
So yeah, because you would have won it insured for the value that you're shipping
100%.
At.
I'm not spending 10 grand on a game that if it gets knocked over, it's worth 50 quid, right?
Sure.
So I declared it at the full value. I shipped over via air freight, which is more expensive than the container shipping.
Absolutely.
I have still saved money against what I paid for Kong.
That doesn't surprise me.
And I think if people knew the scale of that, there would probably be more people doing what I've just done. And it's really easy these days. The internet makes everything easy. I think
the difficulty you've got is if there was an issue with parts, would you get supported?
Yeah, but the money I'm saving, for me, that's like, there's a kind of a similar debate that you have on after, when the warranty your car runs out and you sign up to the 1,000 quid a year one.
Yeah, sure.
And some people have got to take, well, just put 1,000 quid in the bank, and if you need it to get anything done, you've got 1,000 quid, which is fine if it's like, something that's 1,000 quid, but if the gearbox goes and it's a $5 grand gearbox, you're kind of fucked, right?
Yeah.
But having gone through that on a couple of cars where I've spent, I don't know.
I think the most expensive thing that you'd struggle to replace easily would be the board, right? The CPU board.
Exactly. And how much is that? Probably $500 tops.
Yeah.
And actually, that's one of my methods to make the game work, which is, so by all accounts, Walking Dead Remastered's coming out. And basically, my worst case scenario plan is I just order a board for the UK and just stick it in the game. That's my worst case scenario, right?
Oh, so you feel like moving forward, this might be just what you do from now on? You just import?
Maybe for the club.
Okay.
So if I think about it, right, the
I mean,
cloud.
it's a bit shit though, isn't it? You highlight a good point there that if you're in the UK, it's cheaper just to do it yourself than it is to work through a distributor. That's weird. Like it
It's
should
mad.
never, like the buying power they have versus an individual buying one game versus the whatever number they buy should be way different.
But it's been true on almost every game that I've imported. So actually Evil Dead probably not. Evil Dead's probably exactly the same money.
Sure.
In fact, it
But
is.
that's different because it's not done through
Evil Dead is
that's direct
probably
distributor relationship with direct reseller relationship, isn't it? That one because that doesn't go through Electrocoin.
no, but I think I actually think in the end it would have been cheaper had I just it would have been cheaper if I hadn't air freighted it. So if I'd stuck it on a boat and waited a year for it to arrive, it would have been cheaper. But the fact that I air freighted it means it was roughly exactly the same price.
You're as bad as me when it comes to patience, really.
Pulp Fiction was cheaper for two reasons. One, because it was a show game, I got a decent. They gave me a decent discount on it because it was being used in a show. And two, what was the other reason? I can't remember. There was two reasons why it was cheaper. Oh, I got an unbelievably good deal on the shipping. The shipping only cost me 450 quid on that game. I think I can't remember if it was that one or another one. But it was in the end about, I want to say, 1,000 quid cheaper.
Wow.
And
not small change.
No, and actually the good thing about Pulp Fiction is CGC will support you. They don't really they don't care too much about it.
I'd say it's like Spooky in that they'll support it. Like they're not one for region locking. They will have their allegiances to their distributors to say if you want to buy a game, they'll promote that buyer. But at the same time, if you bought the game like Evil Dead, I suspect they would support you even if you bought it.
They have done. I mean, they've sent me out a board. They sent me out.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, the one thing on Evil Dead, one of the reasons Evil Dead was in a much better place because the pound was so strong against the dollar when I got it.
Yeah.
The same was true for Star Wars. Pound's very strong right now. Actually, back in the heyday of $2 to a pound,
miss those days.
Yeah, no, I mean that would be honestly, it would. You'd be mad to buy it any other way. In fact, you could literally hire a jet plane and fly it back yourself. You'd save so much fucking money.
Yeah.
No, I mean, but look, important like that, is it easy? Like, for example, actually with Star Wars, they lost it for like a day.
That's a bit scary.
I had to get the paperwork for the guy who picked it up, the signature that they gave. Luckily, he kept it a lot.
How'd you miss a pinball machine? Lose it. I mean,
fucking stunned by this. But I'm thinking, I'm imagining it got stuck. It got lost in the customs out. I'm imagining that like U.S. Customs to be like that room in Raiders of the Lost Ark, where
yeah,
there's just fucking boxes for miles, right?
Yeah.
So they I mean, my freight company said no. I was like, so they've lost it. Like, no. They're just verifying the paperwork. I was like, right. And then I gave them the paperwork. I said, oh yeah, I saw everyone's all good. I was like, they found it. And like the lady who I deal with, Sonia, she's awesome. Oh no, it was never lost. It was never lost. I'm like, yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
So there are risks, right? And even if it's insured, okay.
But that's why you'd always insure it for the amount it's worth.
Yeah. I mean, on like if I was to import a second-hand game, suppose I was to import John Wick Pro, I'd probably insure that, like, I don't know, I'd probably insure that for half what it's really worth.
Yeah. I always mean to ask you this, and I don't know, right? I mean, I'm no legal expert when it comes to this.
Yeah.
Back when it used to be the days when we were in the EU, and people would buy games from Europe, there would never be any tax to pay on a machine being bought from Europe into the UK.
You pay the tax in Europe.
Ah, okay. But even on a private sale?
On a private sale, no.
But that's what I mean. See, that's what feels different.
Tax would already be the tax would already be seen to have been paid. So what you would let's use this example, right?
Yeah, go on.
Imagine it's like, let's rewind to 2016, right?
Yeah.
You're buying Ghostbusters in Europe, right? And you're buying it off Fred, who is a private. He's bought it and paid for it off the local dealer, Pinball Universe. Everything's good. You're buying it off of him. He's selling it to you for £1,000 more than he paid for it, right?
Sure.
In theory, so if you're a VAT registered, which you're not, and you're an individual, which means you don't have to worry about this. But in theory, you're supposed to pay VAT on that £1,000
capital gains, right?
No,
VAT. It's not.
Well, both capital gains on the difference, so the £1,000.
Yeah, that on that.
VAT
Yeah.
on the £1,000. Now, I don't know if you've seen this on eBay recently, but eBay are asking for NI numbers, because if you're selling anything over £2,000 on eBay, they're telling the tax man about it.
I had noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is
what I was trying to get at is in this world, like if we was to buy something, run now forward to 2025, same scenario, we now have to pay import tax at the border on that purchase.
But you don't have to pay the local tax. So, for example, Ghostbusters, VAT in Germany was 19% when it came out.
Sure.
So Fred, who you bought that off, already paid that 19%. If you were buying it from PU, you'd pay the 19%, which means when you took it over the border, you didn't get asked because you already paid the VAT on it, right?
Yeah.
Now, PU don't have to charge you the 19% because you're exporting it.
I'm talking more private sale, though.
Yeah, private sale. In theory, now, if you bring a game over where you've done a private sale on it, say it's $5,000, private sale, you're required to declare its value, right? Now, the question is what does that mean? Does that mean that the value's $5,000 what you paid for it? Or is it some other value that you think the game's worth, right? So you could, if suppose you've bought.
Because it goes back to my concept of what you're saying about eBay, where they're saying you sell something, they want to know it so they can tax it. But I'm like thinking, if the product has already paid its tax, and you're selling it secondhand,
right? So
how does that then qualify?
So here's the golden rule: every pinball machine that you buy, ask for a receipt for what you paid against it.
Yeah, because I get the feeling that HMRC may come knocking sooner or later.
They're coming, mate. So HMRC, Google it. They've got this AI platform where they're going to identify people that are selling tons of stuff. And actually, it's not just eBay. If you run in some respect, I haven't read this recently, but I remember when I first looked at this legislation a couple of years ago, I was thinking, crikey, Pinball Info sells games. Okay, they don't sell the games themselves, but they act as a conduit, which is the same as eBay. And I think there's a case to say that Pinball Info should be reporting. Well, same
thing as Facebook Marketplace, really, isn't it?
Facebook Marketplace, exactly.
Yeah,
and even your good old fashioned classified
article
in the local paper. There'll be a bunch of people going, Neil, you're talking rubbish, but go have a look at the legislation and you tell me, because it's not very clear. But this is the whole clampdown. I mean, this clampdown's aimed on the professional sellers that are selling,
Oh yeah, I think they're trying to tackle the Etsy sellers and stuff like that, right? All these like side hustles, as they call them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think if you were to get pulled over, or I was to get pulled over, it's not like we are buying and selling games to run a business.
Well, no, we're losing money on pretty much every time we buy a game anyway.
That's the other thing. But if you are, if I don't know, suppose you've got ginger hair and a beard, and you're selling 3D printed parts on eBay for pinball machines, they're coming after you. That's the people who they want to get. Are those that are selling parts as a professional business. What's scary is and I've had the chat with a few folks in this, people don't actually know what they're required to do. I think it's like 80 grand. If you sell more than 80 grand's worth of stuff and you're kind of a company,
Yeah.
you're a professional trader, you're supposed to register for VAT.
Sure.
And VAT isn't something you pay at the end of the year. It's something you pay at the end of the quarter. And
well, that's the thing, right? It's not the same as like in the US, right, where they have to do their tax return in a year. It's like it's pretty frequent.
And you use software to cope with it. Actually, one of the things I was worried at one point was that the club might hit the VAT threshold. Fortunately, we're nowhere near it.
Right.
The guy that does my gardens just hit the VAT threshold, so all these prices have gone up by 20%.
Yeah.
So I would, for those listening to this, the professional sellers of the world, I would be getting ahead of this because from what I can see, two things: one, the government's skin, and two, they're putting on HMRC much more pressure.
They are pulling the pound coins out the sofas. They need the money.
Exactly, they are, and they're investing to come after you. But going back to the import business, I've got there's a process that you go through to import goods, and if you're an individual, it's different as to if you're an organization. So, but ultimately, and you see this with companies like Apple, where you buy a MacBook, and if you buy it without tax in the US, which you can in some states, it's going to be 20% cheaper. It's not Apple, it's the tax, right?
Sure.
It's the same with pinball. I'm exporting if you export a game, you pay zero tax on it, and then it arrives in the UK and you get hit with 20%, whereas most of the US is around 8 to 9% for sales tax. That's one of the reasons why games are more expensive. You got 10% higher uplift right away. You've got shipping costs, and then you've got, I'm the distributor, I'll have a slice of that too. In some cases, not in every case, but in some cases. So, and the thing that when the pound's strong, they don't like you bypassing that because it takes the distributor out. And the reason, the excuse they say, well, you're not going to get the right support, and if you need any warranty parts, you won't get the right. And it's just bullshit, basically, right?
A lot of it's always been smoke and mirrors, though. It's like when I first started off with pinball, there was this whole, I would say, preface to show that pinball prices were pretty fixed. There was no flexibility in getting that price below what was advertised.
Yeah,
but that is just a load of crap. There's plenty of times where games sell for way less than the sticker price.
100%.
And it's all down to conversations that happen behind doors, basically.
Yeah, but look, this is the thing: the US companies don't want you to sell below their price.
Sure.
Actually, in Europe and in the UK, that's illegal.
I know, but it happens in America all the time.
Yeah, but
it's also so common that every game is basically ring up Zach at Flipping Out and you'll get a deal. It's even advertised like that.
Yeah. Allegedly you'll get a deal. Sorry,
before I get done for litigation here, but allegedly.
And Zach isn't the guy that got me the game, by the way. Just in case anyone thinks that, he's nothing to do with him. Basically, we don't have that kind of relationship, sadly. So anyway, but Flipping Out are a great bunch of guys. Zach, Nicole, Greg, and Ken, and we're not even sponsored by them. Unlike everyone else that tells you how good they are, they're good guys. As is Tilt Amusements, as is loads of other dealers in the US. They're all great guys. Go buy from them. Anyway, moving swiftly on. So so Star Wars arrives tomorrow.
That hot pit quickly.
The good news is next week I'm in their country, so I might get arrested on the spot. We had the UK Open. It went really well. We had almost 200 players. Alex won it. It was a phenomenal final. If you want to see 3 amazing games of pinball, watch the final on YouTube. Fast forward right to the end. There's a game of Jackpot, an amazing game of Jaws. Jaws is such a strong game now. And the 50th edition is selling like crazy. Annoyingly, it pisses me off because I've got an LE and it feels like the best version isn't the LE. That really winds me up, which I will pivot back to Star Wars for a minute. So I have had it in the neck from this gentleman here. Where is he there? And a bunch of other bozos on Pinside. Neil, you said you were never going to buy an LE again.
It's true.
Which I did say. I guilty as charged, right? Here's the reason why I bought Star Wars.
And you put a big post about it.
Yes, no, I did.
To be fair.
And I stand by the post, right? Here is the reason why I bought a Star Wars LE. Someone phoned me and said, Neil, I've got another LE. Do you want it? And it just meant I didn't have to find a Star Wars premium from someone, right?
Yeah, I get it.
So it was literally handed to me on a plate. And actually,
we'll see what happens with the next title. If you get Walking Dead LE, your whole statement here is just pure bullshit.
Walking Dead's an exception, though.
Bollocks! Absolute bollocks, Neil. You're just stop digging your hole and admit the fact that you're the biggest Stern shill. Look, that Stern sign there. That should say Neil's biggest fanboy Stern right there.
Nah, it's bollocks. I give Stern more shit than all the other manufacturers.
You don't. No, you don't. I'm telling you now that if Evil Dead was made by Stern, it would be your best game ever. You would not shut up about it. And you promote it enough.
It's good, but it's not.
I think if it was Stern's, you'd be like, oh my God, why isn't this selling 50 billion of them? Because it's the best game ever. I've seen you put a post up. I've seen it. I'm going to call you out on this. Someone asked you the question. They said, what's the best Stern premium to get? And your response, all of them, such a load of fucking shit. I was like, come on, Neil. All of them, really? John Wick, really?
John Wick.
Okay.
Yeah, John Wick is an epic game, mate. How many games have you played of John Wick?
So fucking good that the code got completely rebuilt. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so
whatever.
How many companies? Let's compare it, right, to Avatar or. Hold on, what's the other recent glory game that you bought? Labyrinth.
Yeah, well, to be
this game is the Messiah, Neil. It's the Messiah.
I did not say that. I did not say that.
By the time your own fucking game arrived, you'd had enough of the one that you'd borrowed. So don't fucking call me out.
I'm telling you now, you cannot hand on heart tell me every Stern premium is amazing.
No, that's not what I meant. But what I meant was
that's what I came across.
No,
yeah.
Okay. Well, what I meant was always buy the premium. Is my take, right?
If you're saying it from a perspective of, Black Knight, really?
Yeah.
Bollocks,
100%.
really? No.
Yes.
Man, you're the only person in the world that I know that tells me a Black Knight Pro is not as better than a Black Knight Premium. That upper playfield is just air.
This is all based on one game that happened in Pinball Expo about 100 years ago. Which since then they adjusted the code so that the same exploit couldn't be done, right?
I don't think it's to do with code. I just think there's nothing to do up there. And it's a Perspex top that gets all chewed up by the ball, starts looking like some washed out piece of crap by about the 100th ball.
I don't disagree with that, which is why I've got 2 bits of the Perspex sitting under my
I'd be sat there with a Novus every play going, I will get that smudge out.
Yeah. It's here.
It's still got the best topper. Don't get me wrong. I love Black Knight. I just genuinely think the Pro is better. I do genuinely think it's better.
You're entitled to be wrong. So, Luke.
Wait, hold on. Going back, what about Stranger Things as well? Really? You think that projector and the what is it? The weird ball lock that never works, the telekinesis lock, is worth having over the Pro?
The projector, 100%. When you've got that game on, the lights off, it is awesome. And also, when that ball thing does work,
it does work, it's very touch and go.
Mine's works 95% of the time. 95%.
Right,
of the
just
time.
like the X-Men shooter, never a problem.
Actually, I tell you what, do 2 things, right? Have a look at all of my streams of it, right?
I do remember calling you out on it, and then you plunged it, and then you pulled a grimace face, and then you hard plunged it, and it was fine.
No,
I do remember this.
There was one time where the plunge didn't work.
It does. You have to admit that game had
Go
problems.
to Pinball Republic and play Uncanny X-Men.
I'll never convince you, Neil. I'll never. This is why people miss me, because I'm the only person that's willing to fight you on this.
No, there's loads of other people that are willing to fight me on it. They're just
maybe you're the only one that. Yeah, maybe
not good of you at it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, look, we'll agree to disagree. I think personally, there are some good pros out there that I think. Yeah, there are. I mean, if I looked at it from the perspective when you said all Stern premiums are great, which they're not. Like, there are some Stern games that are proper clunkers, like Munsters.
Munsters just don't fucking buy, full stop, right?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, the way you phrased it made it sound like all Sterns are amazing. They're not.
No. Okay,
like,
that's not.
On the
I
whole,
definitely did not mean that, because honestly, Munsters, I'd rather kill myself than own that game. It is awful. I actually played it recently in the US, and it reminded me how shit it actually is. Some people love it. I don't get it. Just if you see Munster and you think, oh, this is a good game, go buy a Monster Bash. That's all you need to do, right? Just go buy a Monster Bash. It's the same fucking game.
If you want a monster theme, just get that.
Better.
Yeah.
Look, are there pros that are less valuable than others? Yes, is the answer.
What about Venom? Oh, no, actually, no, wait, I take it back. Venom.
Not one of them.
No, because Venom, you lost the one thing that actually made the difference in the game.
Jurassic Park is one of them, right? So, actually, in the club, Jurassic Park is the only pro that we've got in the club.
Oh, really?
Because there's hardly any premiums in the UK, annoyingly, and because there's hardly any, it's a top end game to buy. So I managed to pick up a Jurassic Park Pro for about, I think I paid $6,000 for it, and it is virtually. It's hard. The dinosaur head doesn't grab your ball. That's it. And there's like the thing that goes up and down on the
raptor pen,
the raptor pit. Honestly, those two things they're not significant. Here is the one game that everybody gets wrong on Pro versus Premium: The Walking Dead. Right now,
I'd miss the crossbow, but I think what else is missing on that?
The biggest thing that's missing on it is the button.
Oh yeah, because you got to do that for the horde
on the Pro.
Yeah. Because what do you do then for the horde mode?
Horde mode, the Walker bombs.
Yeah.
The Walker bombs are worth the LE price every day of the week. Every day of the week. You've lost half of Lyman's genius by not having that button.
Do they not simulate the buttons through two buttons? Okay.
They don't have it. It's just not in the code. So that's one example. Deadpool, you have to have the premium, because one of the best shots in pinball is in the premium, and it's not in the pro, right? Which is the orbit shot that comes around. It is awesome. Foo Fighters, you can maybe get away with the pro.
I mean, like, you're only missing the diverter, aren't you, at the top?
Yeah, well, you got the mini playfield with a flipper.
Wait, on Turtles?
No, Foo Fighters.
Oh, you're on Foo Fighters. Go on then, Foo Fighters.
Yeah, Foo Fighters. Turtles, I agree. You don't need the premium LE. Pro's the same game. There's not much in it.
Yeah, there's nothing in it, right?
That one I would agree with you on. What else is here? King Kong, you absolutely need the premium for the gong. What else is in the corner over there? Venom you need because of the extra mechs.
Yeah, I get that. Well, there's not much in it, so if you're going to strip that out, you may as well have nothing in it.
You have it for Jaws for the upper playfield. James Bond, you absolutely need
Bond on a wand.
And and the lock. It's cool. Iron Maiden, I would say you have to have it. Lots of people disagree on that, but
Metallica, I'd agree as well, which is probably why they didn't do a pro remake, because it was just missing too much from it for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Metallica. Actually, I'm less. I think Metallica. I mean,
I like the toys though.
I do like the toy, but
I thought the grave didn't go up. It was stationary, wasn't it?
What's that?
The grave marker didn't go up on the pro.
No. Good question. I don't know. That's part of, I should be honest with you.
Do you lose the physical ball lock underneath the hammer? That's definitely gone.
And the hammer. Yeah, that definite.
Yeah.
But the one thing about Metallica, one thing about Pro and Premium, so we're very lucky here in the South where all of my games here are pretty, in fact, they're all premium LEs. And in the club, pretty much all the Stern games are premiums because I like the premium, and I put most of the games in the club are mine. Most of the modern Sterns in the club are mine.
Sure.
And I figure out ways of getting deals on premiums or buying them nearly new or whatever, or importing them, whatever it takes. And then I'll go to a pinball tournament in the US where it's a pro, and I won't have a fucking clue what I'm supposed to do to start a mode.
Tell you one that I wouldn't really care that much on is Star Trek.
Really?
Well, you're missing the laser pen.
Yeah.
And the Vengeance just doesn't lose it loses that actuation to drop down, but it still does that.
And the nice shiny red armor, mate.
No, that's aesthetics. You could fix that yourself.
Yeah, you could. And also on the LE, the phasers firing up the side of the game. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking about premium though, not LE.
Yeah, I mean gameplay. You may be right. No, gameplay. I actually. So the premium is easier than the pro.
Because, in what way?
Well, the lock on that, the VUC on that side, instead of just kicking it out, it kicks it up onto the habit rail.
Ah, so the pro doesn't have the kind of like the VUC that goes into the rail. I thought it was the same mech.
And also the pro doesn't have the kickback, so it's got a virtual kickback, which is basically you lose the ball and it kicks a new ball out.
Oh, so the physical kickback's gone.
I think that is shit.
I hate virtual kickbacks, to be honest.
Me too. They're fucking awful.
I still think it's a bit of a crime that Stern got rid of the physical knocker and that weird. I saw a post actually remind me of that on the forum. Someone said, "Oh, my game keeps making this weird squawk noise," and I was like, "Yeah, that's your knocker."
Well, there's the other noise though. There's the duck noise.
Duck
Do you know
noise?
what the duck noise is?
No.
So when a Stern game automatically updates.
Oh yeah.
Quack.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man! The first time
that scares the crap out of you. Yeah, it did that to me.
I was like, "What the was that?" And everyone, I was on this Teams call, and everyone's like, "Looking, what was that?" And I'm like, it was something to do with my pinball machines, but I'm not reacting to it.
Yeah,
I nearly had a heart attack. I mean, pro versus premium's a hard one. I think, look, if you're short of $3,000 and you want to buy a game, buy the pro. I think the thing I would say is that.
I'll tell you one thing I do have noticed though. We've gone down this tangent before, so I'll try and keep it short. But you lose a lot less money on a pro than you do on a premium.
Oh, 100%.
I don't know what it is with the second-hand market at the moment, but my God, the more expensive the sticker price of the game was, the more you lose.
Absolutely. But
I've seen some jaws barely flinch money in the second-hand market, like £500 for a pro. But then the premium is like, $2,000-3,000 off. It's like, what?
Really?
Yeah.
Crikey. That surprises me.
Look at Foo Fighters. Foo Fighters, I think, is like there's one guy advertising an LE at the moment. I get the fact it was on.
LEs definitely are taking a kick in, no question about it. They're taking it. I mean, LE. I think it's fair to say that Stern have found the ceiling for the LE price and crashed through it. So lots of people say, "Oh, Stern are going out of business. They're not selling any games." They're not selling any LEs, but let me tell you, they are selling truckloads of premiums and pros.
Oh, yeah.
So, they're not going out of business
anytime. They need to rediscover, I think, what makes the LE special. And I think...
Oh, mate, and this is the reason why I wrote that long post on Pinside, which was, you've put out a Jaws. And what annoyed me about it is Stern said that when they did a 25th, when they did like an anniversary edition like that, they wouldn't put the powder coat on it, or they wouldn't do anything in it that couldn't easily be added to a LE, right?
Sure.
Fucking sparkly playfield. How the hell do I add that to my LE, right?
Yeah, not easily. Put it that way.
Exactly. And I especially with, actually, for most times I wouldn't give two.
I actually know people that have sold LEs to get the 50th.
Yeah, no, I've seen it as well. I mean, that to me just says they got it badly wrong. But yeah, it's a challenging one, for sure. I'm conscious of time, and we've yacked on for how long have we yacked on for?
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half. So look, I'm off to Pinball Expo next week. I'm excited to play Predator.
I genuinely want to see if it actually is an okay game after all this.
There was a post someone got theirs delivered, and the the lock bar had this big gap, and the guy basically realized that the weight of the playfield whilst it was in its box had bent the playfield hangers.
Oh, the hooks have bent.
And he says, how can this have happened? And I replied, it's easy. It's made of cheesium. And it just shows, like, people complain about cost cutting.
Yeah.
And look really where there's cost cutting going on. I'm looking forward to play it. I like Predator's a title I would buy on the spot.
It was look, Alien, Predator, two of my favorite action movies, like Aliens, I should say.
I'm very unoptimistic that this game's great. I'm trying to be optimistic about it, but
do you think Paternity will do their Big Bang Bar?
So, they wanted to have Big Bang Bar at the event.
Yeah.
I heard a rumor that the reason they're not having it at the event is because their lead distributor doesn't have a booth at the event.
Wouldn't that be Coin Taker, or is that someone else?
I have no idea who it is. Absolutely no idea who it is. But that's the rumor that I heard. I also heard, so a lot of people are saying Walking Dead's going to be there. I am not 100% sure it is. Because by all accounts, Star Wars went out late. And I think they're looking to give Star Wars a bit more time, which is annoying because probably 3 weeks I'll get an invite to fly back and see it, which will cost me an arm and a leg on a freaking plane journey. But Walking Dead, look, cards on the table. If Walking Dead comes out and there's an LE, I'm buying the LE. You'll just have to rip the piss out of me for a month. But
no fear, Neil. No fear.
I am not buying Pokemon LE. In fact, I'm probably not buying Pokemon because I just don't get it at all.
You heard it here first, people. He's not buying Pokemon LE, but he will buy Pokemon LE.
No. I will not. I will, anyway,
He'll be like, my granddaughter wants it, so I had to buy it. It wasn't me, it was my granddaughter.
my wife wants Alice in Wonderland, and that
wasn't there a cancelled one on Pinball Heaven recently?
I wouldn't buy it though. I played the game. It's a clunker. It's a massive clunker.
Oh, really?
It's a beautiful game. Don't get me wrong, but it flows badly, and the upper playfield's utter wank.
That's a shame.
I don't use that word often, but in this case, it was appropriate. And yeah, so there's a bunch of us from the UK going over, the usual gang. We're going to see Spooky. We'll go and see Stern, and then I'm going to make them all. They all think I'm like Mr. Stern, as like you do.
Prove me wrong, and then you.
All I do is make sure they get a fair hearing.
Okay. Ambassador.
I'm looking forward to them all going, oh, we were wrong, Neil, like you have. And I mean, there's not too many other new games that are going to be there. I'm looking forward to.
No, I'm kind of disappointed that you said that. Like, Spookies might not even be at the show.
It won't be. 100%, it won't be. I think the first chance you got to play Evil Dead was Pinball at the Beach, which is in February. And by the way, I'm going to Pinball on the Beach.
Yeah, because I heard it's very successful last year, right?
It was. I heard it was an epic show. Look, the simple fact that there's sun and pinball there. My beloved's coming with me. She can relax all day by the pool.
Yeah, I think it's great, right?
All day by the pinball machines.
Yep.
It's a match made in heaven, and it's a pretty nice venue that they're at. And look, what's not to like about St. Pete's Beach? It's delicious. So. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Actually, I'm going to Miami in November. If there's any listening from that area, hit me up with where's the cool pinball places in Miami. I'll probably be wandering about wearing a kind of a lilac suit with soft shoes, floating around in a white Ferrari. which is one of my. If you want a theme for Neil McCrea by Miami Vice, not the shit movie, but the amazing TV show. I'd be all over that like a bad suit. So yeah, I'll be in Miami in November. If there's a pinball place to go, let me know, and I will try and visit. What else is going on in the world? Very quickly, I think that's probably it for today. Given that we've yacked on a bit, because
I get my June next week or week after that. I think week after that.
So I mean, actually, shout out to Rob Cutler, because he's been singing praises of June. I did play June I played it in. It's kind of weird. I played it in Pinfest, and I thought, oh, that's okay. I played it in Pinburg and thought, this game is awful. I mean, I really thought it was bad. And then I played it at Papa and thought, actually, this game's got potential. So I'm looking forward to playing that game out at Expo.
Yeah,
and getting more shots on it. But Rob, he bought the one that David imported for
the show. Yeah.
And he really rates it. Although I did see there was some issues with one of the mechs, like grinding its gears or something.
All right.
So keep an eye out for that. I don't know. There was a few reports of it, and actually,
I know the Worms had its problems, but I think a lot of it was code related.
It was the worm basically grinding gears, and there was all this dust everywhere.
Right.
But because on the first day at Papa, the game was working on this, and then it was down for the rest of the.
I'll tell you one thing I did find. We didn't touch on this. I'll do it really quick. We do maybe 5 minutes on it. Okay. Did you see that Barrels announced the printed manual for Labyrinth?
I did not. But
okay. This is good then, because I want to see what your value estimate would have been for a printed manual. So, as you know, most people don't get printed manuals anymore. This is kind of a dead art. The only people that did it recently from memory is Pulp Fiction for CGC.
All the Pulp Fiction games have got a printed manual, but CGC. Yeah. All the CGC games, but from I want to say Cactus Canyon, we got a proper manual as opposed to the 10 pages of bullshit that came in Attack from Mars and Medieval Madness.
Okay. Well, imagine, if you will, this is a full schematic breakdown, like literally layer by layer. It's I don't know what size it is, but let's estimate it's bigger than A4. It's probably A3, something to that instance. And it's thick, yeah.
Yeah, it's pooch.
Fully printed manual.
Yeah.
What do you think they should have charged in dollars?
I mean, just the pure, cost of printing that. You're looking at, I don't know, $50 to $70. I would have thought.
Sure. So, what do you think they should have marketed it at then?
Oh, $50 to $70.
They want $180.
Okay.
I was like, you got to be absolutely nuts to be spent. I mean, they've supplied it like as a PDF as well, and I'm not like, well, I just go to a printing company that specializes in printing booklets and say, print that for me, and I'll have that at £80 or $80 or $90, because it just, to me, it's like $180. I think it's $150 actually.
But
it's a lot of money.
Yeah, but I think if you take that PDF to a printer, they'll look at it, and they might print it just like you print on a printer, right?
Sure.
But what they're not going to do, and this is so
they won't bind it in that, or they might.
Is in a nice binder, and also it's got pages that fold out.
Yeah, sure.
They're not going to do that for you, mate. Not for.
No, they probably won't. But I just didn't get the whole $150 thing. Like it's a manual, like. And surprisingly, people have bought them. I'm just surprised at that price point. That's all.
No, I mean it's the top end. I mean, if you think about it, it's the same price as a. Well, if you think about it, right, it's the same price as a set of art blades for a Stern game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. Is it more than you would expect? For sure. Is it ridiculous?
I don't know. I feel like for the price point that the game was at. And the fact that it should have probably come with the game anyway. And I get the fact that they don't have to do it, but every company should, in my book. It just feels like that should have been bundled. And if it didn't, it should have just been provided at cost. to people that want it. I don't know. To me, it just feels like if you're going to do it, make it a point where it's acceptable to buy it. It's just, I couldn't ever envisage telling Holly, oh yeah, by the way, I just spent 150 quid on a manual.
Yeah, no, I mean, when you put it like that, I couldn't agree more. I mean, this is the thing. In some ways, for the vast majority of times, the PDF, I never used the printed manual for Cactus or Pulp Fiction for two reasons. One, I don't want to get it covered in shit from the game.
Sure.
And two, I got this big freaking screen here that I can put the PDF up on.
Yeah.
And I can see it a lot better than what.
I mean, I often hunt down the manuals when I'm buying a game secondhand because, like, like a Williams game and that, because I like having it complete.
Yeah, but those manuals they want 50 quid for if you're
they
buying
do want to. Yeah, they do want a lot, and that to me is a lot. But like, as I say,
50 quid for a manual for Theatre Magic, are you having a laugh? There's no way I'm paying that, especially when you can. I mean, on that scenario, you can download the PDF and print it and staple it together yourself, and you've got one, right?
Yeah.
Which is what a lot of these manuals you're buying are. So, yeah, I mean, it's a tough one. I mean, I think if you're really into the game, I kind of get it. On the flip side, I do, so the manuals that come with Stern games are freaking awful. Basically, there's like annoyingly bits missing off it. So, I
remember you had this issue, didn't you? I think you had it with Jurassic Park. I think
exactly. That's what I was just going to say.
Yeah,
Jurassic Park, the post broke, and actually, it's not in the manual. I actually thought because the manual was awful. Actually, it's not in the manual because they added this part after they made the game because balls were getting stuck there. So yeah, it's annoying, but I would probably, if June was like kind of Pulp Fiction to me, I'd probably buy the manual. Just stick it in the bag and stick it in a plastic bag and stick it underneath the game because there'll be a time where you can't get it and then $150 will seem cheap. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll wrap it there, I think.
Indeed. Scott, great to have you back. Our love to Holly and Max and the cats. We will. I'm at Pinball Republic tomorrow. I'll try and get this out tomorrow at some point. And watch out for the unboxing of Star Wars, perhaps tomorrow night on Twitch.
It's where you find it region locks and completely locks itself.
It'll either be region locked or it'll have been dropped like my Bond was.
Oh, God, don't.
And I'll have to feign that I don't care when I was infuriated to the core. But so I'm gonna actually. The other thing, I'm updating the code on Evil Dead. I did it before, but it seems to have lost the update somehow. It's bizarre. And because they've added a video mode to Evil Dead.
Yeah, I saw that.
Cool.
We better go because I know my wife. I'd love to talk about that, but yes. I have to call it.
Okay. On that bombshell, before we're both gunned down by our respective wives, I'll watch out on my YouTube. I'll post some videos from Expo of anything interesting. And if you're at Expo, come and say hello. And with that, all there is left to say is adios, my friends.
Goodbye.
Take it easy. Play pinball, visit locations, be positive.